One of my struggles in being intentional with my family is when my spiritual life is not in good standing. For example, if my prayer life and my quiet time are not regular or unhealthy, I would not have the confidence to ask them how are they doing with their spiritual walk with the Lord if I myself is not doing fine spiritually. So I would rather not engage with them. Another challenge that I could share is that if I had an argument or disagreement with one of my daughters or with my wife, it would be difficult for me to engage with my kids if my emotion is high or if there's a tension in our relationships. For some reason, pride creeps in and I always thought that I'm always right in every argument. One last thing that I could share is that when I'm busy with work as well as with ministry, I would struggle to find time to catch up with them.
So one of the things that I really appreciate about Dad with his intentionality is when he's actually the first person to say sorry. And we have arguments, maybe with my mom or with us girls, it's so humbling. And he makes sure that we all gather as well and we also say sorry to one another. And right after that, we pray together, we confess to God and really offer it up to God. And for me, that's really beautiful, knowing that something ugly turned into something beautiful as we are all praying together. And next is family devotions. He's always the one initiating it. He's always the one enthusiastic. He's always the one sharing inspiring things, encouraging things, and also he also shares his struggle. So for me, that's really nice to hear from your own dad that he's also struggling and that he encourages us that even though we struggle, that we can really pursue that Christ-likeness. So not only is he the one growing, but he makes sure that his family is also growing. So thank you so much for that, Dad. I really appreciate you.
The one thing that I appreciate about my dad the most in his growing intentionality towards his family is that I get to know him more as a believer of Christ rather than just a disconnected father figure. Over the past several years, I've seen how the Lord has transformed my dad into a vulnerable, caring, and faithful believer in pursuit of Christ's likeness, compared to the overbearing person who disregards what his family has to say. Now he shares to us openly, listens to our suggestions, and accepts corrections from us. He loves sharing what God has been teaching him in his quiet times and explicitly tells us that he's been praying for us nonstop. He also has started saying, "I love you." As a words of affirmation person, I appreciate that he's trying to show love in the best way that I receive it. So I love you, Dad. I appreciate you.
I appreciate my husband being intentional in building quality relationship with my daughters. He makes sure that he say "I love you" to all of us and pray for us before we leave for work. He asks them every night how they are doing when we are having dinner to make sure that they are okay. He say sorry when we have arguments. We also have family devotion and prayer time together. As his wife, I really appreciate that he leads each one of us closer to Christ.